Today we're driving the 2022 Audi Q3 S-Line 45 TFSI Quattro. We have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission, of course it's all-wheel drive, and Audi's entry-level crossover. Pretty nice looking interior. Let's walk you around this. We'll show you what it looks like inside and out, talk about what it's been like to live with this week, and we'll take it for a drive. The Q3 S-Line starts at just shy of $40,000. This has a handful of options on it: the Premium Plus package, the Tech package, and the Black Optic package. In white, this is a pretty good looking crossover. We have 20-inch wheels on this Q3. Probably wouldn't recommend the 20s if I'm being honest. Doesn't help ride quality and creates a little bit more NVH in the cabin. They do look nice, but with the lifted ground clearance of this crossover, I feel like it would be nice to have a little bit more sidewall. We're driving on Pirelli Sato Zero winter tires, 245 40R20s. Let's pop the tailgate here. This feels very much like a lifted all-wheel drive, kind of fancier Golf, to be honest. Same proportions, same size inside. We even get a compact spare tire. Nice loading height here. Good to have an automatic lifting tailgate. Backseat room, though compact, feels pretty good. I'm 5'10". I have plenty of room for my knees, plenty of headroom. Ingress and egress is really easy in this Q3. You even get a small armrest back here. Pretty classic looking Audi interior. Shares lots of switchgear and buttons from other Audi models. We do get physical climate control buttons, which I have missed so much in Audis. They have a knurled finish on their knobs. Looks really nice. Let's pop the hood, take a look at this 2-liter TFSI engine. Not the most efficiently rated powertrain, rated for 21 miles to the gallon in the city, 28 on the highway, but in Daily Motors highway fuel economy testing, I believe they averaged in the mid-30s in this on the highway, which is pretty impressive and seems more in line with what a 2-liter turbo should do. This actually has a leg up on the Golf R. It has a hood strut. Look at that. Pure luxury from your Audi Q3. Like I said earlier, 228 horsepower, and your mileage may vary. All right, let's show you around the interior real quick up front, and then we'll take this for a drive. You can see the sun is setting, and we're getting a view of some of the ambient lighting inside this Q3. Everything looks pretty good. You have adjustments between, I think, 30 different colors. The Quattro symbol is illuminated. Your footwell and down here turns red or whatever color you've selected. The only annoying thing is down here by the cup holders, it's white light, and I don't believe you can change that or turn it off, and there's no cover for the cup holders, so that's always kind of glaring in your eye. Another annoyance with night driving is to adjust your display brightness. You have to kind of go into a deep menu and slide this cockpit dimming slider. There's no physical switch to dim your cockpit lighting. Otherwise, this infotainment's pretty familiar. We have physical knobs for our climate control, which is fantastic. Buttons down here to select our drive mode. Doesn't really do much except for change steering feel and engine transmission programming. We'll leave it in auto for now. We can turn off stop start, turn on off our parking sensors, and then there's a hill descent mode. Decent looking reverse camera, forward facing camera, a little 360 camera to the side. And we've got a compass right up here in our mirror. Nice looking panoramic moonroof too. Turn off stop start, it's pretty adamant about coming on quite often. Down here to the left, we have a Sonos sound system. Not sure how many Sonos sound systems I've seen in cars. We're gonna test that out at the end of the video. We have a button to pop the tailgate, 2-seat memory settings, auto up-down switches for all 4 windows, and then this funky kind of upside-down looking door handle. Traditional cruise control switch that's shared with all the other Audis, and then we get a few different gauge views here for our fully digital display. That's kind of neat. Lots of different options, things you can look at in there. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. Parking brake down here is conveniently located. Lots of knobs that look like your volume switch at first glance, but that's actually right down here, which is pretty convenient for the passenger, but for the driver, you're just going to be wanting to use the controls on the steering wheel. All right, let's head out and see how this Q3 does on the road. Nice high driving position. Steering is very light at low speeds. 8-speed auto is pretty smooth. Not as sharp and responsive as the dual clutches used to be, but that's okay. The compact dimensions of this Q3 make it a pretty good city car, easy to park, decent turning radius. No piped-in engine sound in this Q3. It's all pretty simple and driver-focused here. Pretty tall gears from this 8-speed. Not too impressed with transmission performance, but it's okay. Handles pretty well, even on winter tires tonight. Paddle shifters are responsive on the upshifts, not necessarily on the downshifts. Sitting here on the highway, 70 miles an hour, cruising at about 1800 RPM, 1850. The cruise control is interesting in that it skips 2.5 mile an hour increments. We've seen this before from Audis. It is kind of cool. I like it. You don't have to press the button as often. You can easily change your following distance down here with this cruise control stock. Kind of a strange system to get used to, but once you do, it becomes second nature. This is pretty quiet at speed. Feels about right for a $40,000 or $50,000 subcompact crossover. Alright, while we're cruising here, let's test out this Sonos sound system. CarPlay is taking its sweet time to engage here for some reason. Alright, let's see here. Turn up our volume. super impressed with this Sonos, to be honest. I think their portable speakers that you can carry around the house with you are a little bit better sounding. A little bit muddy. Bass is good, and there is quite a bit of adjustment deep in the menus. Alright guys, well, some final thoughts on the Audi Q3. This is meant to be kind of your entry-level Audi crossover, and I think it does exactly what it intends to do for that purpose. It gets you into the Audi lineup at a reasonable cost, under 40 grand, and you can even get the base model for less. This has some extraneous options on it. It was actually standard with 18-inch wheels, and then it was spec'd with 19-inch wheels as part of a package, and then it was spec'd with 20-inch wheels. So I think about $3,000 or $4,000 was just wasted on wheels that aren't actually fitted to the car to make this $48,000 as tested price. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But with some of the packages, the Black Optic package, the Tech package, and the Premium Plus package, this makes for a pretty complete feeling Audi. I think, honestly, the A3 drives a little bit better. It's a bit more refined, a bit more fun to drive, feels slightly higher quality, and that's usually the case with the crossover equivalent of a lower price sedan or similarly priced sedan. But overall, this has been a decent car to live with this week. No major complaints. Drives well enough. Few rattles and shakes, as you can hear. Some vibrating plastic at the door sills and from the back hatch area. Pretty typical that I've found with VW Audi products, especially those with the tailgate. So that's not really feeling very nice for my almost $50,000. But you get past that, and overall this seems like a pretty nice crossover. Interior materials feel about average for Audis these days. I think BMW and Mercedes maybe have an upper hand, but everything in here works so well and is laid out so nicely and is simple to use that I think it makes up for some of that. Alright guys, well that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll walk you around this one more time, and that'll be a wrap on the Audi Q3 S-Line 45 TFSI Quattro. Wonderful.